All right. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It's a little weird. It's okay. Happy Monday. The music's a little weird. It's a little weird pause, but we usually are not here on Monday. So
no, you usually are. I'm not.
Well, yes, but I'm usually here Monday at 8.
At 8, yeah.
And I'm here Monday at 7 because we had an emergency. We had an emergency after Friday's episode of The Never Ever Mets. Yes, and so we wanted to get here together today. Hey, Miss Riley, yeah, we had an emergency, so I wanted to get in here and just clear some things up and bring a little clarity to what's been happening in these Never Ever Met streets. Yes, Derica, it was an emergency. And this is the thing. The show, it's a good show, right? Do you think it's a good show? Hey, Edna.
I think it's a good as far as mess, yes.
It's a messy show.
Yeah. And sometimes we like that.
And sometimes we like that. It seems that messy shows do better than non-messy shows.
Absolutely.
So this is definitely a messy show. But I want to say all the things that we have pulled together tonight have proven, and we actually have a guest coming on that has some information from the social media streets. Is going to be joining us in just a bit. More information, more clarity from the social media streets. But I think that once we get into this, you guys are all going to agree with Mo and myself, and that it's really, really hard to have these type of shows because so many people want to be famous.
Yes,
so many people want to be on TV. So I want to start like this. So we started last week. You guys remember last week I had pulled a photo from the show.
Okay.
You remember, this is the photo that I pulled. Now, this was a photo of a slightly overweight man balancing himself on the edge of a pool table. And before we even get into the foolishness with the dates and the girls and all that, I want to let you guys know that Clavacia is no longer that man. Because if you visit his social media pages, you will learn that he has been on the GLP weight loss drug, and he did a commercial for the drug. And so this is the new and improved Clavacia in this short clip.
The weight loss benefits of GLP-1s. Now you can get the nutritional support you need with Replenza, physician formulated.
So there we go. So no longer. No. I just want to make sure that we're clear. No longer this. It is now this.
Yeah, for now.
Okay.
For now.
All right. So just as we move forward in the conversation, what we learned about Clay, or Clavacia, as his name actually is that he has a long history of being on reality television, doing reality TV dating, right?
Right.
I was able to pull this clip from a TLC show years ago. And this was a show, I don't think it did very well because it was like an online thing. But it wasn't very popular. But in this clip, and this is from eons ago, you'll see Clavacia and another young lady, another hopeful young lady, talking about their dating experience. Shall we dive in?
Let's do it.
Though, I thought she looked beautiful in the first video when we've had the initial contest. So coming back, I was really excited to see what her personality was like and see how it flips from her asking us questions to me asking her something, seeing about who she is.
My first impression of Clavacia was, damn! Oh my God, he's so fine.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you were frozen for a bit. which I'm going to be mad at you because your Wi-Fi is horrible and you were late to our date. Strike one. Clavacia being late for our date definitely raised a red flag for me.
All right.
Oh man.
I want to say I think that Clavacia, I guess he has a way with the ladies.
Okay.
I'm asking you. I'm
You definitely have to ask. Maybe the guy. I wouldn't know that.
I'm just wondering, is the fact that he's on these different shows talking to these ladies, are you giving him credit for being a ladies' man?
No, I'm not. I'm not. And I would say that just based on him being on the Never Ever Mets. And maybe the confidence or the lack of confidence came when the weight came. I don't know, but I would say no. On here, I just think, if you're on a reality show, the young lady seemed like because you said a long time ago. So right now, I don't think that same lady would give that response. She would probably give a more of a pop the balloon response.
I think so.
We were gentler America or community back then. Now it's a little different. And I think she was being nice and because she was on television. But
Yeah.
like I said, I don't know. But she seemed that her response to him was a little bit over the top.
I agree. I think it was for TV.
That part.
I think it was for TV. Hold on. I think it was for TV. I think now, according to his former bios, because I went on a deep dive, he is a former football player. It didn't say for who.
Oh man. If that's the case, I'm a former football player too. If we talking that.
Did you play football?
Yes, 3 years.
What years?
6th, 7th, 8th grade. You didn't say, wait, that's what I'm saying about him. Y'all hear football, y'all just think NFL.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Okay. So it could be that he could have played in high school. It could be an Al Bundy type situation.
Yeah, because the athletes they don't like to let go of their glory years.
Well, I think it's the time when they get the most women, and it actually connects us with somebody's son.
That what that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, Delphin said that does not count. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade does not count.
I played and I know the game. You mind your business. Whoever said that, mind your business. Don't take away. Don't minimize my stuff.
I don't know if the audio was on. Okay. I don't know if he was in the military because he also has done some military commercials as well. I didn't pull those because what we've learned is that he really wants to be on TV.
Yes.
Now before we move into other situations, I do want to address the reason I felt like we needed to have this emergency meeting. In addition to we are reviewing somebody's son. We're doing that on Fridays. We're doing that we may do it on Wednesday. My bad. We're doing it on Wednesday, right, Mo?
Yeah, but I don't get to see. I thought it was Friday. We were doing both. I thought
we were, but it's Never Ever Mets took over. We are doing somebody's son. We are reviewing that too. I think we talked about it on Friday, so we'll do it on Friday.
In the news.
But so on Friday's episode of Never Ever Mets, we met Clavacia's best friend,
right,
named Jameelah, right, and right. She was allegedly an adult entertainer.
So they say.
But upon further research, we found that Jameelah was not a best friend. She, at one point in time, was an ex. Glamour magazine did an article. I have no idea how Clavacia got in Glamour, but let's check this out.
So we met at
a music video shoot.
An event that I was promoting.
On set, it was a music video set.
She was attracted to my
Body, his smile, his personality.
To his body.
I like his muscles.
and I was attracted to her.
My ass, for sure.
To my butt and my spirituality.
My smile.
Who made the first move?
Clay made the first move.
Of course, he made the first move. I don't make first moves.
He did. I never make the first move.
He walked up to me and he said, hey, we should get together and shoot some skits sometimes. And then he looked at my ass for a very, very long time.
He came up to me asking to get him.
All right, it's funny that she said we should get together and do some skits sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
What type of skits?
Mm-hmm. First of all, we need to give credit to his agent because he seems to be working.
Well, that is an old clip.
No, but that just lets you know he's been working from then to now.
He has. But it is ridiculous that they tried to have her come on TV as a best friend without best friend energy. And it took no digging to realize that that was an ex, not a best friend. An ex that he met on a music video set. I'm assuming, so I've seen that Clavacia was an alleged football player and in the military, and I guarantee you if I do a little bit more digging, we will find out that he was a rapper.
See, this is what I'm saying. And now I question everything. I believe they belong to the same agency. I don't think that on the video set. If it did, they were brought from the same agency to go to the video set. It's all BS. Now,
let me ask you this. Do we think, and then chat, please let us know. If you guys are watching this on the replay, you can chime in as you watch. Does this mean, do we feel like Clavacia is acting in his BS alone? Or do we feel like Tatiana is also from the same agency?
I don't think she is. And the only reason why I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt is because she brought her moms on there.
Who did he bring on? His friend?
Yeah. Somebody else from the agency.
Oh, no. Yeah, he brought on his best friend, which was?
Nah. I don't.
Jameelah.
If she was being messy, unless her mom wants to be in show business, I don't think she would bring her mother on there and her mother would cry. I don't think they were.
Okay. But I wonder, do you think he was actually talking to her? Because if you notice in that first video I played from TLC, that girl, he and that girl were met online as well. So I'm just trying to figure out, is he online actually dating? Or is he online looking for women to go on television with? Because all of Clavacia, he has several more. All of his, except for his GLP commercial and the Army commercial. Those don't have anything to do with women. But everything else in his past, as far as like his IMDb situation, it's all with women. It's all dating reality shows. Yeah.
This is, he's probably on Plenty of Fish and saw one of them ads or something. I'm telling you, this is this dude, man. He's probably one of these acting agencies in Atlanta, casting people and finding work. Because he's from Riverdale, correct?
He is from Riverdale.
Which is about not even 10 minutes from the airport.
Yeah.
You know? So he
doesn't have IMDb, and I was just being facetious. He does not have IMDb, or at least not one that I saw. But I did see several other entries of him doing reality type.
And I believe because that he has the body of a retired football player. That's what the dudes with the muscles in high school y'all go crazy over. That's what that's how that ends up.
That is not always how it ends up. Don't hate.
You didn't let me finish. If you stop playing and you don't stay in shape.
Okay, if you stop,
ends up if you were just naturally thin and you just become out. This how it ends up. I end up how they was in high school. That's how
they weren't like that in high school.
Oh no, yeah, but this is just lean muscle. Same weight, just muscle. But anyway, back to what I was saying.
That's what?
This is lean. Hey, you saw when I stepped on the scale.
But I didn't see muscle. I didn't see muscle.
Because you used to seeing it in the bigger frame and you think that's just big.
No. I know what lean muscle looks like.
So when you see it on me, you're like,
no, Mo, I know what lean muscle looks like, and I don't see it.
It's so where does the weight on me? Where is it at? Where's it come from?
You have heavy bones. You're tall. You're tall.
Now,
there's no bias. I don't see no muscles. I'm not going to call it lean muscle.
I've never heard of heavy bones in my life.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, anyway, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Those pecs.
Now back to you.
Don't do that. Talking about I just have lean muscle. This is how football players look when they're young. Boy, stop. All right. So Lakeisha says Tatiana did an IG live and she is very hurt, not just by Clay, but by the people in the house she considered her friends. She was still talking to them up until these recent episodes aired. Wow.
Shame on them. I don't believe she's part of it. I think it's all on his side. On that, as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, I'm just messing with Mo. Please stop with the overly sensitive.
Listen, can I say something real quick? I noticed all that. Let me explain to you Crystal and I's relationship. Let's say Crystal and her friends were taking pictures. And they'd be like, Mo, take this picture of me. I'd be like, okay, suck your stomach in. Crystal would turn around and be like, fuck you, say it with your chest. Oops, my bad, you already did. That's our relationship.
First of all,
that's our relationship.
You have not told me to suck my stomach in.
No. I was just using an example of something we might say.
Okay, I just noticed you have accused me of liking snacks.
Well, I mean, I don't want to lie to the people.
Moving on, Mo. I don't have time for this with you today. I don't have time. So I hate that because I do feel like Tatiana was genuine, but it's crazy. I think most of the people, and this is why I said when we started this show tonight, I feel like most people that go on reality TV are on the BS. But this season, this cast was even more. I think Jared, I think Britney, I think Ty. Thank you, Lakeisha. I think a lot of them were here for the exposure, and it is not. They were not genuine, and that's why they didn't care about exposing Clavacia and laughing about it. You know what I mean? Like they were literally laughing about the fact that he was hiding the baby and he hid it for so long. Do you think he hid it for so long to draw out his storyline?
Yeah, I think he knows how to get. Well, I think everyone, especially on this show, but just think about it, if he's been on these different shows, he knows how to play the game and drag. Yeah. So I don't even want to say credit to his knowledgeable understanding on how this works. He gets that.
He's trying to give good TV.
And that's how you get the next gig, right?
But do y'all think that that's why if he was doing that, why did he leave? Like, I'm just perplexed.
Well, I'm glad you said that because one of our viewers brought up a good point. They said that he left. They thought, I didn't even think about this, is when she called him the B word. And he was embarrassed. And he just, at that point, he just was like, let me get out of here before she starts. It gets even worse. I don't know if that's it, but that was just a different take I didn't even think about.
I think he said he could have had another job. He could have. Y'all realize they filmed this in like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, less, 2.5 weeks. So it really was on vacation time, not really like, it was a quick.
Well, we all know Kiki's on vacation for sure.
Yeah, I think that it's not going to be the last season, y'all. They have another season already in the works.
They already got.
Yes, we are definitely, Delphin. We're definitely going to do a Ready to Love review because we're going to have to go back and actually we're going to watch it all over again, and we'll have to go through. We have to just to kind of
but I no, because they're running the ads now, but they're still not putting a date on it.
No, I think it's the end of the summer. I believe it's August.
So they better have another one in the can ready to go right after that. Because this,
I hope so. That's why I said last time. I hope so. And also, Family or Fiance is coming back because somebody's son is probably going to be over with in June. I can't imagine how long can we drag out these women living in a house with these boys' moms.
Thank you.
I got an email about it today, so I have to check that, and we'll talk about it on Wednesday. But I just feel like this. I don't know. I just felt like this was wild. Like I wish they could do better vetting of people because we're playing around with For the Love of Mo, right?
Right.
With the ladies that are online. What do you think it would take a real guy like yourself to actually go on one of these shows? Because I feel like, and I've said this before, I don't feel like the men that come on reality shows are genuine. I feel like sometimes the women are, like Tatiana, but I feel like men don't believe in putting their business out like this. Like, I don't think I could ever get Adrian to have gone on a TV show while we were dating. First of all, most men have multiple options and they don't want to mess one up by being on TV, right? But I also don't think men take things a little bit more seriously when it comes to a real situation. Now, if it's playing, and if they're playing, they don't want to put their business in the street. So what would it take for you to be on a show like this?
I don't know, but just think about how hard it was to get the men out for speed dating. And then you talk 2 weeks of taping? Come on, man. It's a dude. To me, those dudes are looking for something. They might be looking for love, but they really, or maybe this is a better way to widen your pool. Because if you go on TV, forget the women that you see them dating on there. Think about the viewers. Going through the court in their hometown, the next town over, that kind of thing.
I wonder this, Lakeisha, this is a good point. She said these are the risks of dating online. I tried it out many years ago after my divorce. Not for me. People lie too much, but I've worked with many friends who met their spouses online. All are white though. I wonder if it is a cultural disconnect, because I will say this, when you look at like The Bachelor or different shows like that, where the majority of the I don't want to say contestants, but the candidates are not African American. Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe they're more open. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Even if they're getting in from, I think it's a different pool. It's like a public, one of the dating sites that are open to the public, and then there's eHarmony or one of those where they're really paying to be on there, and those people is more of a premium site, and those people are taking this serious. Because I think this is giving online dating a bad name, because it's not this bad. It's like this because these people want to be famous.
I agree. And I would say, Lakeisha, I started online dating after my divorce, and I will say this. There are a lot of people that lie, but I think there are a lot of people that lie that you meet at the gas station or the grocery store, right? I did meet a lot of good guys online. They were not my match, but I did meet enough men that I could say, you know what, this is a good person, or this is someone that I would hook a friend up with. They just weren't for me. But I think that's the same thing that happens in real life. And then lastly, I did meet, my husband in a Facebook singles group, so it really, but I think that was one. I met several other guys that were nice, but they weren't for me. So I think what's for you is not going to be plentiful, but I do think that now, because so many people are online, I don't think being dating online is taboo. Now, it still may not be for you, and that's okay. But I do think you should be open. And maybe you just curtail or change the way you look at it, but it just gives you more options.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. White women have more options. Black men online will date white women, but it's not that many white men online that have black women as preferences to date, at least not in the South. But I don't know, because I met some non-African American guys online, but I think what is for you is for you.
That part. And
you only need one.
That part.
Stacey O says she met her guy on eHarmony. Clap for Stacey O. We like hearing positivity, so that's good. You know, just be open. It may not be for you, but I'm just saying, I think sometimes speaking in absolutes can keep us stuck. Right?
I used to do a cigar event with a guy. He got married in the late fall. Someone he met online.
See?
2 years prior. So you never know. And they lived in another state, and then they would meet every other weekend in the middle.
Really? So online, long distance dating can work.
Well, they met an hour and a half. She was in Charlotte. She was from Philly and living in Charlotte. He was living here. They met in Greenville, South Carolina, every other weekend. But she moved here within a year.
Okay, but see, I didn't ask you none of that. All I said was no.
But it was they had that thing, and it would come in, and it made it, and she met him halfway. He didn't fly there, she didn't come. They met in the middle, and then she eventually moved here, and it worked. See?
Okay. All right. Well, we got a special guest that's going to join us now, and has got a little bit more tea to spill on this situation with the Never Ever Met. You guys, please help us welcome Tamasha to
What's good, y'all? What's up?
Hey,
you know
girl,
what I'm saying?
How are you, first of all?
You know what I'm saying? I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to stay. Listen, these streets have been live. It ain't even no joke. Like, hey, listen, hey, everybody about that life. You know what I'm saying? From season 1, day 1, if you don't know, y'all need to get out there in them street. Make sure you guys get out there and follow your plethora of black bloggers, because we are all capping on this, from Reddit to the groups to the streets. So yeah, it's been interesting. I've been good, but this show has been something else.
It has. So we thank you, D Brown. So we talked about the fact that we found out, Tamasha, just because I know you're going to give us some additional tea, but we found out that our boy Clavacia has been in these reality streets for quite a while.
Yeah.
He has been trying his best to make things work. The pictures are blurry. And he has been doing commercials for the military and for GLP weight loss. He was also on another TLC show with a girl that he was dating and met. And of course, the Glamour Spot, which showed us that Jameelah was not a best friend. She was an ex. So I believe you have some information that you overheard or you learned that you're going to share with us.
You know what I'm saying? Baby, let me tell you guys something. I am big about giving credit and honor to whom honor is due. And baby, now listen, I am known as Television Boulevard. And I got hit up yesterday to pull up to the Queen's Court Barbecue on Kamish Reviews. And when I pulled up to that channel and seen that panel with the best friend, the best friend, Jameelah. Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all, if you want the exclusive, all the walk down, if you want more sugar in your tea, going over there and check it out on her channel. But for the sake of where we are at on this panel and this channel, baby, listen. You got to be careful how you handle best friends.
Yeah,
you got to be careful how you handle people that are within that nest, that know you behind that mask, behind that hustle. Because everybody ain't able, everybody ain't loyal to keep that code. And I'll say that lady, you know, it was an impromptu situation. I pulled up to see what was going on. About 15 minutes in, they was talking. Everything seemed to be flowing as normal. And then she got hit with the okie doke. You know, how did you feel about the mama's comment? And she was unaware. So it seemed to be a pattern that throughout the course of the conversation, there was a whole lot she was unaware of because she wasn't abreast to the, to the show.
Mhm.
So she didn't know about a lot of the clapbacks that Tatiana was saying. She didn't know about what the mama had said. So when she found out that mama had some words and she didn't respond back on Mother's Day, oh, she put it out there. She made it perfectly clear, the best friend, hey, I'm not going to put him out there, but you also ain't going to defame me. So the way I took it was, okay, and this kind of goes back to what you and Mo was talking about, which we all know from last week when we all was kind of talking about the best friend dynamic with male and female. I was kind of feeling her on a certain level of, hey, you know what I'm saying? You know how we get down. We've been hustling for years, and I trust you to communicate to your people what's up. And the way that Jameelah was putting it was, hey, I thought she was everybody else. So I'm doing as we do, but this is something else. This chick blowing up, she put my pockets out there. So in the course of her making her case, the people in the streets brought up the fact that we knew she got down with the prostitution or the escorting or the porno. I don't want to say she's a prostitute because she's not, but she get down with the entertainment industry on that end. And that obviously was a problem. So right now we don't know how that's going to cook because she was pretty hot about that. Apparently production told her that they weren't going to bring that up. He brought it up.
He brought it up. Yeah, he's the one that brought it up.
They aired it. Right, but they aired it. And so this was that whole situation now where it's like, okay, who could be liable? Who is liable? It was Jay that was narrating the situation because she was talking to her man, Cinco, when she was doing his hair. So it's kind of like, okay, if that ball start rolling, how far down the ruler are we going to be stretching? How far, how far are we going with this? And so, she talking about getting with her people because that was a part of her contractual agreement with coming on the show. I'm not going to come on if, you cannot mention my profession. So, there's a whole, so now the question, begs to differ, which I thought about last night. Okay, so how far is production willing to go for the sake of entertainment? Because if there's some validity, which she claims she got text and it's a part of her contract and her lawyers from her world looked at it, and that was the premises of which she agreed to come on the show, then what exactly was the curveball? Did they think that by showing it under the umbrella of third party, Jay talking about it and them watching it by way of a camera, did they think that there was plausible deniability in this? And I don't see that,
No, but to Edna's point, Clay did bring it up first to the guy.
Right.
So
right. See, on conversation, I get that. See, that's absolutely correct because he was the person of first mention. Nobody knows her to say that. And those of us, if we being 100, we understand why that kind of thing is said. Like, there's a certain part of my life, like I said, and I believe we all go through it. If you out there in the game, it's a part of the game. It's kind of what it is. So he was dropping that bomb for the very reasons why we knew he was trying to show, categorically what type of friend and what type of level she was on and kind of putting it out there. Like, listen, this is my dime. I'm going to show y'all one of my candies coming through the door, and which would open up whether or not they've been romantically involved and whether or not he may have, and all of this. Now, per her, she said, nah, he actually like her sister. So, but as far as whether there's some legal ground with laying this at the feet, whether he said it or not, does production have,
she wasn't a bestie because they have a video of her being an ex.
Right, she's the ex-girlfriend twice. Like she said, that's their hustle. She addressed that too. But apparently, Clavacia, this is what they do. Like, you know how some people get high on their own supply? They hooked on the television screen. They are worse than Michael Jackson, Human Nature. Like they tell them that, television screen, like they tweaked out. They can't stop. They one show their relatives, next show their exes, one show their baby mamas. On this one, she the best friend. So, and she did put Tatiana out there too. Like, listen, I don't know what kind of money they making, but the way that they cap at each other is not even on earth. Like how you tell me, you know what I'm saying? I don't even like your glass. You drink out of champagne glass. Like my brain is going to be like, bitch, at least it's a glass. But in her mind, it's the type of glass. And then she was like, they were setting it up. She said, Jameelah said that apparently they set the whole stage up. They had cameras at every angle and they was waiting on Tatiana to fight. You know what I mean? So they, according to her, production kind of hyped this up. So it's a pretty thing. It's worth watching, to get the full scroll of what she was saying, because she basically was saying she got set up, and her clap back to the whole threat of being fought on. She said Tatiana threatened her and she said, bitch, I'm booked tomorrow. And I just stared because I ain't never heard of combat like that before. And I was like, whatever money you making, if that's your combat, baby, what are you doing? I wish I could tell somebody, get your book tomorrow. And that'd be my excuse. I can look you in the eye and hold that shit. Like, so I don't know. Apparently Clavacia got 10 houses and some property, some land.
We saw
Jameelah
that
got the car.
He puts up there that he has. I don't believe any of that. I think that's all for TV.
Please don't believe that.
Listen, you know what? I mean, he got me confused because at one point I was like, oh, he one of my military bros. You know, I'm a veteran. I'm like, okay. And then I don't know if that's real. I did hear that too, Karen, that Tati isn't, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know what? I started wondering, okay, is she P Valley or is she Diamond like Players Club? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I was trying to find the lady's stage name, but, you know, then she threw a fit and I was like, so is it wrong for me to still ask that question? Because I'm trying to support you, sis. If you give me your stage name, I will make sure that, you know what I'm saying, we locate. Listen, sis.
Yeah.
Girl?
I don't think,
I'm trying to figure
I don't know. I mean, what you think, Mo? This is all crazy. This is wild. This is wild.
I don't believe any of it. I think they're here for good time and exposure. That's it. That's it. Nothing else matters. If it's better that it is more drama, it keeps it going. More interviews, talked about more. They love it.
It's not.
Ain't it giving Zeus?
Y'all. I'm telling you,
it's giving Zeus to me. It's giving Zeus.
I mean, maybe not Zeus, because if it was Zeus, they would actually have fought. You know what I mean? If it was Zeus, blows would have been exchanged. You know, but it's just trifling. And I don't. And Clay. Do you think Clay is an unreasonably attractive man, Tamasha? Because I'm just confused.
You know what? When I went through my eye candy catalogs, and I thought to myself, and I said, Self, and Self couldn't find it. I said he wouldn't fit on any boy list that I had. And it's, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he got beautiful skin. I think all men are beautiful. I really, in all colors, variations, and all, because you're just a black man. Period. So I don't care. You're a beautiful man. But when it comes down to what makes me, what brings the woman out of me, what makes me say, okay, him, that's not Clavacia, because there's a part of him that is feminine to me. And because of my experience with women, I don't want to treat him like a bitch. So, and I respect him as a man. And I don't want him to make me a man because I'm not a man. So I can't, because I know my life. No, see, let me explain. So y'all start listening. Let me explain something, because listen.
I mean, hey, it is what it is.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Listen, you see that scene? Like, I don't like that scene, but I like the scene when he had on his underwear and he looked like a man. Like, I got the horseback scene, but I don't get that scene. Like, it's something wrong. Listen, no, I just can't. He complained too much. You want to know why I don't like him? Let me tell you why I don't like him. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna bare my soul, because he act like the police. Let me tell you why. Because he starts a situation with her when they was golf clubbing, right? And he all calm and poised, and he observing the situation, right? And the first time she put her hands up, he was like, so you had to put your hands up like that? So you had to move your hands like that? And it just seemed like he just unfolded. And I was like, oh, so you one of them. You one of them cops. I raised my hand up when it's cold outside, and you be like, oh, so you had to put your hands up? Next thing you know, I'm getting beat on because you freaked out because you started something that you ain't have to fucking do. So to me, I feel like he fed behavior. Like, I feel like he's one of them ones, you know, just he got that kind of mentality. How you think it's funny that somebody does not like vegan food? Like, that's not funny. You know, it's kind of like his extremity. You know, I've been clocking Clay for the longest, you know, as far as his, you know, I like to look at this scenario because we already know it's all entertainment, but I like to pull some kind of substance out of it, because this is what's in the street. There are men out there right now that are hot. Listen, at least old girl had her babies with their mama and their grandmama, and one of them on the intercom, you know, with Jared and Charlie. At least she owned them all.
Benefit of that.
Listen, but at least she knew where they was at, and she owned all four. But him, he got, okay, one of them hit up Tatiana in the DM and said, girl, I didn't know about your baby till I seen you on TV. Then there's another one, and according to best friend that's mad, he got some more coming, and I'm like, what are you doing?
That's what I heard.
You know, so
there's that Nola, to your point, that he has childbearing hips, which is
facts. It's that belly for me. He's not gonna lock me in the doggy style all my life.
Additional children besides just one.
Right. Besides two.
Here's this thing. We all know this guy. There's this guy, Christal. You know several of these guys. To my I do their
no real talk.
Every scenario and why they're in trouble. is because of they lied, and there was
That's
stuff they didn't have to lie about. These
Yeah.
do this, you know.
Yeah.
and
Prime example. That
They-
vegan food was absolutely perfect. You
They-
prime example.
themselves into good situations and they lie themselves into bad situations, but they lie.
Facts.
Yeah. You're right.
Like-
But you know what? Edna, Edna said he sweats too much.
He
Maybe
do.
that
He
was
sweat like he
before-
pop pills. I think he do powder or he pop pills because you're not sweating that much. How you sweating like that? Listen,
He
I
is
put
sweating.
cayenne pepper in my food and I don't even sweat that hard. You understand what I'm saying? That man got
Maybe
something
he's
going on.
having, because sometimes when people on those weight loss drugs, it makes them sweat a lot.
Or when they're in withdrawals.
You seen that dude before. Everybody know in the hood. That's how you know it's hot outside, when the big dudes got the little towels on them.
You know what I'm saying? The little washcloth. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're talking about. I got one in the corner. Listen, that guy right there is like a little handkerchief. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, on God, like listen, Clay, listen. Every woman has met him, and every man has met a Charlie. Every man has met a Tati. Like and unfortunately, this is just. Feel what I'm saying? You feel me, Sunny Rain? You know the girl. Okay, I know my pill poppers in the street. Come on out in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you pop the pills. I don't. But you know what I'm saying? Come on, pill pop.
Don't put any ones in the chat.
Look, don't do that.
Don't put the ones. This series, and we said this earlier, Tamasha, like I feel like it is all about people trying to come on and get exposure. A couple of people said that as soon as they saw Chris from Ready to Love, they knew that the show was on some BS. And I just keep asking, like, why are Chris and Alexis playing in our faces every week on OWN?
Okay.
Why? And actually, I liked Chris when he was on Ready to Love. He came on. We had a good conversation with him. I liked him. I don't know. This Chris, I don't like this Chris.
This country boy Chris, baby. This Mr. Mississippi. You better quit playing with that man. That's
This
my friend.
Chris is annoying. He's reading a script that is not even entertaining. It ain't even entertaining. If you're gonna be fake, be entertaining. But it's not even entertaining.
He don't like that lady.
I think
he don't like that lady.
He does not like her.
Listen, okay. Huh? See, listen,
Tamasha.
because this is what happened. Yes.
Tamasha.
Look, see, okay. Look, let me tell you. Look, hold on, let me adjust my microphone. So listen, this is what happened. Like they genuinely, I could say this much here. I met Chris and Lex. Okay, I met them as two separate people at two separate times. I met him. I have met him. I've seen him from the waist down. Okay, I have not seen Lex from the waist down. Okay, so but I have.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? You seen him from the waist down?
Oh shit. Okay, listen. No, I have met him in person. I have not met her. Me and him have met. Me and her have never ever met.
Yeah, you can fit what the.
Don't do it, Mo. Don't you start that shit. Let me tell you something. These streets is motherfucking hot. Okay, you better cut out. If I have to rip off. Let me tell you something. I don't want to have to show my tattoos. I'm about that life. I got to go to microphone for a reason. We in these streets. We capping. Let me tell you something. Listen, they truly met for the first time on that show. We all were. They were introduced through the show.
People, Tamasha.
I'm sorry.
What
was the question?
Did you party with these people or something? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Huh?
She did.
Yeah, it was a party last year that I went to up there when I had moved up to the northern part of Texas. Now I'm in the southern region of Texas. And
what
so
type of party was this?
It was Ready to Love party.
Okay, because at this point I feel like we have to specify what type of party.
Ah, shit. See, did he or did he not? Let me tell you something. Masha didn't. Let me tell you. It wasn't nobody. It wasn't no baby oil at this one.
Okay.
It was number thermals.
You said I've seen him from the waist down.
Yeah, you know, because the concept of this show is never ever met. It's supposed to be digital, and you're not supposed to have ever met before. You know,
you got to put it in context. Thank you for doing that.
You know, and I thank you for that opportunity to clarify such clarification.
Could have went another way. Okay. Continue.
Shit. So, but when they initially linked up, it was during the time of that party. They clicked off as friends, truthfully. But we everybody's grown, so everybody would just have conversation. And so I thought that everything was just left to conversation. So for a period of time, towards the latter around when they, I guess, started to apply and go through this whole chapter, I wasn't in no communication. I was relocating here and such on. So when I finally did plug back in, I'm seeing promos. And I was like, what is this? Now, I thought that Lex had interviewed him because I know that he's into his media stream. But her, I thought she was just interviewing. You know what I mean? So I didn't even think, oh, she's on the show. So it wasn't until
So they have met. It's not a never ever met.
No, they've never met in person prior to this show. That part is very much true. They never met. So when I hear people say they've met, and I'm like, they never met prior to the show.
Now I'm confused because I thought you just said that when you were partying, you saw they were both there, but they clicked.
No, and me and him have met. Me and him have met before.
But you said that they clicked off as friends.
Right. You said
yeah, we all had it in them. That was a separate conversational thing. Like we all introduced him more or less to her. Like when she meets through that mutual friend, I was around for that part and there with that too.
Damn it.
So
confused.
How are you confused?
Okay.
We're all confused.
Walk me.
Okay. Look, now I'm looking at the chat. I'm like, listen.
Like Denzel says, explain this to us like we're a 4-year-old.
Especially me.
Hey, you there. That first time I heard Tamasha Live told me, let me tell you something, her, you there, seven, her. Let me quit. No, all right. At the party, I met the cast at the party because they had the party at the cast. You know, the Ready Love party for season 8. Okay. So I met a few of the cast there. And so in that, you know what I'm saying, I gained my conversation with a few. And so I kept that dialogue going with him. Now, everybody also, if you're a part of the groups and stuff like that, then you would know the group admin, stuff like that. Now, Lex will travel to support it. So Miami, I think, Philly, you know, other shows. That's just what she do. She's been doing this group so long. I met her in the group with 8 when I helped with Ready to Love 8. So she didn't make it to that party. She didn't even come down. We thought she was, but she wasn't going to come down. So I would have met her that night too. So we all keep our rapport though. We all link up on the phone. They link up. We all talking shit. Everybody's just talking shit. And so boom, we think, I'm thinking we all just having a conversation. Mm-hmm. I didn't think it would grow or turn into anything. Now I end up moving here.
Where is here?
Houston.
So everybody met in person or everybody y'all were online doing this?
Nah, me and him have met in person, but on the phone was me, him, and Lex.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it was in that. So that's why I said as far as their beginning, right. That's why I say just everybody talking shit and having conversation, you know. So it was a group of us on there just chopping it up. And so when we logged out that group, you know, and left off that, I thought it was just that, you know, life got the life in. I moved here to Houston. I plug back in online because I'm hearing the shows come back on, you know, Philly kick up and then here come Never Ever Met. When I see the promos, I see Lex and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to catch up with her. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Because it had been like 4 months or so since we had really spoke. So I'm like, all right, let me see what's up. I see Chris. I said, oh, he active again. He told me he was going to be back out there in them streets. I'm not thinking put 2 and 2 together. Lex interviews people in the group all the time. You know what I mean? Where she'll ask a couple questions. Like she'll just go live and let the group ask questions through the chat. So that's not uncommon. It didn't register that they was on there as a couple until I seen it when she was walking in that beach. And I was like, I was herbalizing my home. And I looked on the screen and I was like, I know you fucking lying. So I moved from one screen to the other, the bigger screen. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Boom. What the hell? I thought y'all was playing. But we had our own conversation to the side. So when did this this was for real? Like, this really, what? And it was like, okay. So they ended up having their own rapport. You know how people do, you in a group conversation and then you slide to the side or whatever, Christal. Yeah. Okay, you've been there. You know, if all 3 of us was on the phone and let's say I want the sidebar with Mo or whatever, I'm just texting him and you don't know. And so I didn't know. So I'm looking like, when did this? So we catch up in that. And I'm like, so how did this happen? And I was like, so you guys decided to get official when you decided to do it on the show? I'm like, all this time you could have flown to Dallas, girl.
I don't believe they really was talking. I believe they both decided they wanted to be on this show.
That part.
Now, I
don't think it was so monetary. I don't think it was so monetary.
I give Alexis the benefit of the doubt because she said she was going to share some things after the show, but
yeah,
it just don't sound like
it's a hard
opportunity knocking.
I think it's a hard shadow because I can't say that, of course, early on, not knowing and catching up has been my theme. So the theme of mine, when you ask how I've been doing, I've been kind of catching up. It's been a whole lot about this that I just did not know. A whole lot of pieces I've had to piece together because of who all I've known in this process and things that I've come to know. And so I had naturally questions that I'm like, okay, well, let me ask, because if at any time certain things get referenced, I want to know what's up so I can know what I need to not go into because I don't know. And I don't know, you know what I mean? Because I didn't think this would turn into a thing. You know what I mean? And I was like, I just thought we was all just talking shit, you know, and I didn't think that this would turn into something. So what the fuck is this? And so that's when I started realizing, okay, so y'all really did. And I was like, well, I knew, you know, like I know that she genuinely likes younger men. He do. Chris likes what he likes as far as his women and his variation of them. So I can't even.
Well, I don't think Chris likes her.
You know, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. The way I took the approach after speaking with folk and just kind of stirring it up in my own head, you know, and being fair, because this ain't that, you know, I'm not getting paid for shit. So this is not nothing I have to win from. So just being fair with looking at what's being presented, I more or less look at them as more honorary to the code of what the show is. I never ever met you. We had whatever rapport. We finna link up and see what's up. And we're going to walk out the door. I think that it's harder for her. And I did communicate this. I said, I think y'all have a real, like a power couple type of impact, but in such different extremes, kind of like in the world that matters type extreme. She got whatever pull from the group that has its own type of notoriety on that side of the gate. He got his own pull from primarily Ready to Love. And so when you got that pulling over into a show where we just seen you off a love show and then we seen you dating someone briefly and then now you're over here, we have to find somewhere to draw that line in the sand. So on one side, yeah, he was on Ready to Love, but he was a wild card. We didn't get to hear him speak. He was competing with 9 other men. So it wasn't just him. Never Ever Met is 100% him. You can't swallow without us hearing shit. There is nobody you putting in your top 3 elimination. This is you. So we're actually getting to see him for the first time under this standard of this portfolio that he don't put out there. You know, so it's not a fair swing on a few levels as far as that. And then we finally get to, so how old are you? 45 and you 35. But then when you know him, like I do, he's like an old soul. Like he just up.
I don't think men care about age at all. I think men,
they do, but they don't. I think they do, but they don't.
I think if they're attracted to you and they like you, they will treat you like they like you. Now, down the road, they may not take you seriously if you are 45, because if they want children, but I never in the history of Negro-dom have I ever seen a 35-year-old man with a 45-year-old that he's very attracted to have a problem. I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Mo, I'm gonna defer to Mo because he is the man here, but I'm just saying,
okay.
I don't think that men, I've never heard a man be like, she fine as hell, but she's too old. I've only heard she fine as hell. No.
That's right. Well, I don't think I'm the legal. You know, I like them a little older myself.
Yes, you do.
But
yo, milk.
But every young man wants to experience an older woman,
right?
Whether it be a short time and a good time or whatever. We love the experience.
Yeah.
You know, now whether you were staying or not, that's something totally different. But
See,
You going on this because you 5 minutes from being on one of these shows. I can tell by the way you talking.
Who?
You.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Hey, let me listen. I had to look back, make sure to see if you point at my shadow. Let me tell you something. Let me lower that microphone down. Let me pull this down. Let me tell you something. You don't even know I'm flexing like a motherfucker. Let me tell y'all something. You know what? If I do, okay, I ain't going on without y'all. First off, you know what I'm saying? Listen.
We're not doing any we're fine.
No, I got to have a team. You don't understand. I got to have. Listen, I got to go get some.
Mo is what we're doing.
I don't know nothing about,
But it does. First of all, it is shocking to me that it's a whole world of people on the party line talking about Ready to Love.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen. No, you know what? You know what happens is this. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens. Like me and you. I jump in your chat. We throw some comments out. We share a collective intellectual connection.
Right.
We pull up every now. So that kind of rapport builds. And so with some of us, that rapport builds in the DM. Some of us, it builds up on a Facebook. Some of us, it can manifest in a phone number. So I look at things as as a way of I don't look at, I'm not into I'm 43. I will be 44 in 6 days. So I'm not a branding minded person.
Birthday.
Thank you. And so appreciate it. I'm working on that 44 and I'm so happy. Okay. So, oh yeah, I'm proud of that, baby. I earned this. And so when I look at society, I see they're big in this branding. When you meet somebody, oh, it's Ready to Love. Oh, it's this. I don't care how I met you. That's how I met you. It's about what it is from there. And so to me, all of these people on all of these shows, nonetheless, have been given an opportunity to connect with various people they would not have met any otherwise. So that's where you try to build some type of honest connection to get your due out of it and figure out really why God gave it to you. So for some of us, you may build friendships, you may build rapport, you may meet somebody that can get you your blessing or give you an experience. I mean, it's so many unknowns to that. And so in my case, you step to me and you want to chit chat and talk, I'll chit chat and talk with you too. And whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about and we can talk about. You know what I'm saying?
I understand everybody has different time.
That's it.
Yeah, the party line is why, and also life is life, and life is people got jobs and shit. But let me ask you this: So do you think Alexis, just in your personal opinion from being on the chat line with them, do you think that she's really in love or really in like with Chris? Because she said on the last episode, I've never had to work this hard for a young man. And agree. I
agree as well. I think
not the type to spend that for a man to say he does not want to go into the boom boom room with you. He don't like you like that.
I have my own questions that I have asked, and they will not give me an answer just out of natural catching up. And I'm like, yo, so whatever came from that conversation. And so there is some authentic things that was said that even though people can't believe it, it's true as far as what brought a lot out. But I think that people are weighing in on them a little heavy. Like, this isn't Ready to Love, where we assume, okay, you there for love, you need to be serious, that's not this. This is truly, we are linking up in person to see if there's a connection. And if we walk away without anyone, with someone, whatever, there's no loser, because the point, you won when you showed up. That never ever meant. And now you just got to sustain. So I think that through the course of, from what I'm seeing, I think that over the course of these weeks that they've been around each other, I think there's things he likes about her. I think there's things he don't like about her. I think there's things she likes about him, things that she doesn't. I think that they are showing her they're trying to push into like they're trying to push into a profile of an older woman type of package of, they're leaning between, like if they were sexual, they would paint her more promiscuous cougar. But because there's no sexuality as of yet, because we don't know what's going to come, but because there's no sexuality as of yet, just to mention, they're almost playing it as, she's being this overzealous older MILF type of, like they're trying to build something and I can't quite see yet. But with him, I noticed that a lot of the footage they're showing with him, they're making sure they're showing him younger looking. Like they're putting extra sauce on catching him making movements that are real young minded. Like when him and Lex was sitting on the couch and he got up and his elbow thumped her glass and she threw that look. And it was kind of this whole mommy look. And he was like, oh, you all right? Yeah, blah, blah. And, you know, like they seem to be kind of pushing something heavy with them that I think that their chemistry won't ever cut through. You know, I think In Love is strong. I think that she like him a lot. I think that he like her in general. And I think that whatever disconnect is there. I'm answering the motherfucking question, Mo.
Talking about. Where are you going? Come back. Come back. Bring her back. What the fuck are you talking about?
I've been watching the NFL draft mob and practicing.
Moving. What the fuck?
Crystal said I'm coming. Oh, listen, I had to get ready. I was like, what am I gonna say?
No. Everybody knew what they signed up for. Everybody knows.
Listen, I believe that. I think that she likes him, but I think that if we looking for them to smash, I don't know how that's gonna happen because I even asked her, well, what's up with y'all? I need to see him lean into you more, and I need to see more. I was like, y'all doing all this.
He doesn't like her. I think you probably are, you know, objectively.
I think it's gonna go both ways. Like, no, yeah, like I'm trying to wait it out. Like I'm really trying to see because, like, in my mind, I'm like, when is the intimacy gonna pop up? So I see them trying to build it, and I'm like,
hold on,
they won't answer me.
Tamasha, it don't take that long for it to build. Not the attraction, not a male's attraction. Men's attraction don't take long to build.
It don't.
If we flash a picture of Gayle King on this screen right now, Mo's pupils are gonna dilate because that's what he's attracted to. If a man sees something that he likes, he's gonna immediately respond. That's not it. I don't think he likes her, and I understand. I'm. That's not saying there's anything wrong with her. Or
no, right? He just doesn't. Right. He's just not. I think that's a part of the show. Right.
Natural. Now, did he need her to go on this show? Maybe. Maybe this was an easy way to do it. But I don't think, because I'm telling you, if a younger man is, and Mo, you can let me know if I'm wrong. If a younger man is with an older woman, the chances of him being with her and not going to the boom boom room are what to what?
Not going? Unless he saw something in person that really symbolized that she was an older woman.
Right. Right. He jumping.
In 10 years, that's and from 20 something to 30 something is not big.
Or no, it's not.
40 something. That 10-year ratio is not really tripping, especially her. She don't look like an old maid or nothing.
No.
He just don't like her like that.
Now I agree. And to me, I guess that's where my safe zone is at. Because I'm looking at it like, hey, you've accomplished the goal by meeting. Now, once you meet, that's your volition on whether or not you want to connect or not.
But I don't think that was supposed to be it. It was supposed to be like you come on this show because y'all have been talking for a long time and you have a connection and you trying to that like that. It wasn't just to meet, it's to meet and know that, you know, where do we take this to the next level? And so they were supposedly talking for a period for hold on, I pull it up here, for a year, for 1 year. So if you've been talking to somebody for a year,
come on now.
You know, I guess when they meet, you know, that connection must, you know, it just ain't strike off. You know, I listen. You said about, you know, I listen, you know, I can't, you know, listen, I know what happens. You not listen, I'm not waiting a year to connect with you. First of all,
nobody is. That's not,
you know, so, you know.
Hold on, we can't hear you, Mo.
Can I give you a real scenario that might happen in a situation like that? Why he wouldn't?
Please do.
Look, I'm open.
This is real. Let's say you signed up for the show, but then it takes a minute for it to come, you know, they set a date, but you meet someone and you tell, I signed up for this thing, I'm gonna go through it, but I ain't gonna do nothing. He might got on the show and really got it brought back, got a lady, and he playing it cool for TV because he knows, you know, because you gotta understand, there's a lot of these people that have kids. That obviously that we found out, right? So
right.
Yes.
They'll get on the show and they have already met somebody, but they're going through it anyway because they committed. Just like old girl with the baby. I'm pretty sure she didn't plan to have the baby at the time and do all this other stuff, but it happened. She still went on with the show. That's why she's breastfeeding on the joint at the house. So if I had a situation and I had a lady and I was like, I committed, you know, I signed up this before you. I'm just gonna go, but you know, I'm not gonna be interested in the girl. It's over. We're just doing it to be doing it. I'll walk through the whole process, not be seen touching her or being with her in that manner, or kind of even showing that I'm not interested, and that'll be that. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm just.
That's a really good perspective, because I can see a man doing that. Like, I gotta go on this show. This is a good look, but I ain't getting in trouble with this. I'm not. That makes sense.
Now, I'm not saying that happened. I'm just giving you a thing to look at.
Edna says Chris had met someone else. They both said so.
See when I'm. Damn it, man! I'm good. But anyway,
where did Tamasha go?
Oh,
quick.
Okay, there she is.
I'm here, y'all. Listen, okay, my phone ringing.
Okay, I just want to make. I didn't know what happened.
Oh no, listen, I'm all right. You know, girl, I'm here. I'm gonna call you after. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you. Let me
Sorry.
ask you really quickly, Tamasha. Just because you know we're doing an update, we had to do an update on Clavacia, but obviously, I wanted to ask you about Chris and Alexis, just for kicks and giggles. What are your thoughts on Britney and Ty? Because hold on, and let me make sure that we got everybody, that everybody knows what we're talking about. So this is Britney and Ty, and I have been really irritated with this situation. Especially last week. What are your thoughts on Britney basically kind of blowing Ty off in front of the other cast members?
I think their situation is so unique because I feel like it's almost the same kind of, but just more direct, like Chris and Alexis with them two. I think that she did like him and all of that, and I think everything was there 100%. But I think I think it's more along the lines like what you were saying. When you meet somebody and you don't like them, you kind of start trying to find reasons. And I don't think it was intentional like that with her. But I think that as things started to happen, it's kind of like a point system. It just kind of checked off. And I think when he snapped at that pool, even though it was a small bump, even though they did overcome it, one of the first things that she said when the girls came up that morning was, you know, I like this, but look at what it took to get there. And that was something that I even observed as well. Like, it's not that he's a bad guy, but I think that she realized it takes a lot of energy, like well before they just different footage that they showed of him always being involved. And I think I'm used to a kind of guy like Ty. He's a mannish man. That is a man. He just likes to do man things, and he's used to his woman doing woman things, and women, that's, you know, especially in the 70s, 80s, you know, we sat at the table, we kind of had our areas, we was kind of in our area, and men did their thing, and it was just one of those things. And she might just be one of those ones that need constant affirmation for personal reasons that he can't compensate for, that he shouldn't have to, you know.
Okay, hold on. Edna said, Ty said when he first met her that she was not his body type, but he went with it. Mo.
Who is he trying to blame? You the one that dated that lady.
Mo is stupid. No, I know why he's laughing, because there's a certain show.
Nah, I seen it too, Mo. Listen.
Mo.
You know, that whole song in my head is rocking. Surfboard.
I want to say, Mo, I want to say hello to Christopher's in the chat. He said hello. He's Christopher Ruffin is in the chat. So Christopher, we want to share with you. First of all, thoroughly enjoyed you on Ready to Love. Tamasha, you know, I felt like even though you were a curveball, I feel like we still really got to know your personality when you came on here. We enjoyed you very much. The problem I have, and I'm glad you're here so we can keep watching. We might just hit that boom boom room. I mean, I hope you do, but then again, Chris, I don't think it takes that long.
Tell them, baby.
Tell
them what you finna do.
Room with you, unless y'all are doing it of a certain way, because usually a man is going to be interested in, unless he's trying to be in a long-term relationship. But you've already talked for a year. So what else is there? We're just getting a different Chris than we had on Ready to Love.
Maybe, don't get me wrong, maybe it could be the edit. Maybe he was already in the boom boom room and now he's over it.
I think they showed them. See, they won't answer me.
Yes.
Listen, I have pressed him and legs several ways. They will not budge. They are deadlocked. They really got their hands on this cast as far as what they can and can't say. But I will say that I wonder if they have more footage of them being more affectionate, because you just don't really see that. As much.
I'm telling you, this is the thing, and I know he can't say, and I don't want you to say, Chris. We'll reserve the right to hear what the hell afterwards. But I'm saying, like, it's not even about the footage, because everybody feels like editing. It ain't editing. You can tell the way a man looks in a woman if he's attracted to her. You can tell if he's feeling her and how he looks at her. You can't. A camera can't fake that. A camera can't fake that. On the first episode, on the first series of Ready to Love, Mike, Les, and Shay were on there. Mike was attracted to Shay. It didn't work out, but you could tell he was attracted to her. You can tell. We're not, the camera doesn't make up the reaction. Now, the camera can do things as far as the editing and cutting out certain things, but it doesn't create attraction or not. So, Chris, I like I said, I really enjoyed our conversation. I think that a lot of women really enjoyed our conversation when you were on Ready to Love, when you came on here. What I don't think is that this was a good match for you. And because the Chris that we saw then, we just don't see him now. This format is not my favorite for you.
They do say different people bring different things out of you. So that's true point.
He came in, he was a wild card, so you didn't really get the full essence of him until probably now.
Right. Right. That's what I was saying.
He didn't feel like he was in an uncomfortable situation. This feels like
you think he's uncomfortable
situation. This is my opinion. It could be wrong. I feel like even when the girl was like wanting to put the hands on him and he was like, she didn't ask permission. Would a man say that with a woman he was really, really attracted to?
I thought he was just it was based upon her following the rules and listening boundaries. It wasn't about he didn't want her.
I thought he was trying to keep himself from having an erection. Like maybe if he told himself, don't think about it, and just, that's why when he was praying to Jesus, he was like, and I was screaming with him. I was like, hey. And then
I didn't think about that. I mean,
because he, maybe, what I'm saying, maybe he was,
he got more control of himself than that in front of
like if I send you a picture of this, that mean I'm holding on.
Everybody around. I just think that he was just. At first, I thought he was making a joke out of it. He wasn't dead serious. But if he was, it was just about boundaries. It wasn't about her touching him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, Ready to Love did not give me a chance.
They didn't.
That's fair.
They didn't.
Yeah.
He had a wild card experience on there.
Maybe,
Chris,
I would have prepared. I would have rather, yes, Country Chris is in the chat. I would have rather seen you on Make a Move, Ready to Love, Make a Move.
Yes.
I think that would have been a really good look because our audience loved you. You had your feedback from Ready to Love was great. You know what I mean? Like, even though it was a short period of time, I'd rather be impactful with a short time and leave them wanting more than be long-winded and then they're not really impactful. You know what I mean? Like this, I don't like this. I did cut my hair. This is the low haircut, Chris. Yeah, I like the curly hair too, Chris. Can you let it grow out again? Just asking. I mean, you know, whatever your lady likes, whatever your lady likes. Chris said Mo is speaking facts.
What you speaking, Mo?
You heard what I said.
We want you to come back on Make a Move, Ready to Love, Make a Move, Chris. We want, because we just don't, this don't feel good with you and you and Alexis. It don't feel good.
What is it? What is this thorn in your flesh, Crystal? Why you say like you got the square? What is this?
I just don't like it. I feel like he ain't
It's an
really
honest couple looking. It's the dynamic of today. You got people coming at you. This boy, listen, you got people of all ages talking about Aaliyah said age ain't nothing but a number. So it's like,
no.
Would this be different if it was an older man and a younger woman? What
I have
what do you think? Or do you think it's just hard?
I have no problem with older women and younger men. In fact, I encourage my sisters to be with attractive men regardless of what the age is. So no, it's not that. It's not that. Mo, what do you, because maybe I'm not explaining it right.
It makes sense.
What do you mean? As far as
the chemistry with them just don't feel right, not because of her age or his age.
Yeah, I don't think it's an age thing. I don't think it's an age thing.
Yeah, where do you define it? Yeah.
Well, I've been like, you know, we're watching from television. I haven't met, I don't know her energy. Obviously, they had a little dispute before they got there. That's why she wanted the apology, you know, and maybe energy when she came on the beach and she just had this kind of chip on her shoulder. And then after that, he got maybe turned off. It could be a lot of different things. I really honestly don't know. But I don't think it's an age thing at all.
Again, never in the history of Negrodom have I ever heard a man that had a problem with the actual number. They may have a problem with the look, or they may have a problem with the fact that the woman does not want children. But just because if you're 45 and fine, he don't care.
Not that night, he don't.
Anyway, we were only going to be on here an hour. We just had to go on here. And Chris, we're not even really mad at you. We're upset with Clavacia. Okay, if you guys just joined, we had some footage from Clavacia and all his dating women. Obviously, the footage proved what Tamasha came and shared with us, which is that Jameelah, who claimed to be his ex, his best friend was actually his ex. This is the two of them in a video segment that was on.
So we met at
a music video shoot.
An event that I was promoting.
On set, it was a music video set.
She was attracted to my
body, his smile, his personality.
To his body.
I like his muscles.
And I was attracted to her.
My ass, for sure.
To my butt and my spirituality.
My smile.
Who made the first move?
Clay made the first move.
Of course he made the first move. I don't make first moves.
He did. I never make the first move.
He walked up to me and he said, "Hey, we should get together and shoot some skits sometimes." And then he looked at my ass for a very, very long time.
He came out.
This guy.
So that was one. There's another with another young lady that he did online dating with. So we just wanted to share with everybody. I don't know if those are veneers or he just had really good braces or what. But I'm a little concerned about what type of skits they were talking about doing. But also, did you guys hear that girl say he looked at my butt? He likes my butt and my spirituality.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was weird. It was a weird combination. I thought that was a strange combination. I also want to ask you, Mo, do you think that he actually dated any of those girls that we just saw?
I do not think so.
It was so random.
I don't think so. All those girls look at I can't see it. I'll just say that. I can't see it.
I don't think Clavacia dated any of those young ladies.
They not in Riverdale if he did. I know that.
Well,
Nah.
Jameelah may be in Riverdale.
Yeah, she might be in Riverdale.
Jameelah mad at him right now, baby. He might want to lay low.
Is she really? Is she really? Or is
you know, when friends go through it, sometimes that argument might hit a certain spot. You know how it go. You argue, then you make up, argue, make up. So I don't know how big of a blow. She seemed really peeved off at the whole her profession being made known. So I don't know if this will survive that lick. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody got paid.
Mo, if you told people that I was an adult entertainer, I probably would not talk to you anymore.
And that's fair. That's rightfully so. Rightfully so.
I would be done with you.
Rightfully so.
Friendship over.
Rightfully so.
You tell people that I'm an adult entertainer, we're over. This brother and sister relationship has come to an end.
Rightfully so. I totally get it.
Well, Tamasha, we want to thank you for coming and sharing what is happening in the own reality streets. We appreciate.
Listen, I appreciate you guys. You know I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Thank you so much for coming. And we will
appreciate you guys. See y'all in them streets.
Okay, that sounds good. Television Boulevard. Make sure you guys are following her.
Woo. I just felt like we did 2 hours.
I have never seen you go off on somebody like that.
Hey, man, I ain't know where she go. Just put the cheese on the cracker, man. Just get. Ain't no where. It was going. It was.
Hey, he said, put the cheese on the cracker. Let it go. Yes. Well, Chris, we look forward to hopefully having you on soon. Did you see Tati post about his other baby mama? Yes, I did. Said that he has another baby mom. But you know what? I understand that she's upset, but somebody said this earlier. Tati knew the red flags were not even red, they were flashing.
Somebody in the house told her, and she just wanted confirmation. She wasn't surprised. She was still mad about the other thing.
She didn't want to go home.
Yeah, I think somebody already told her.
Yeah, something had, because it just didn't add up. The way she responded,
it did
not add up. Hey, you there? So I said production did. Yeah, a few people said that.
There you go.
I don't know if Chris is gonna go in the boom boom room, but you know, it don't even matter because men do, you know, things with people they're not attracted to. But I think he likes that girl.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't think so either.
I don't think she really cares. I think she just, you know, it's just if you're an administrator for a page, you want to be on TV.
Listen, Tamasha about 2 seasons from being on one of these shows.
Which show do you think she would go on, though?
This one?
The Never Ever Mets?
Yeah.
Tamasha, we think that you could do well on the Never Ever Mets. We would promote it.
Ready Love, I can't see it. But this one, I can see it.
I can see that too. And she lives in Houston, and I do think that she dates long distance, I would assume. So, hey, the doors of the church are open. I do know a couple of producers I could put in a good word for you.
She might pop up on somebody's son. She might, senior edition. I don't know. You just never know. You never know.
Karen says, did you guys know that Clavacia means rich king? And on that note,
what?
I think if there was ever a time for us to end tonight's conversation, it would be now.
Right now.
It would be now. Tamasha said, girl, for the check, I'll date somebody's daughter. Tamasha, No.
Hey, you know what? I was gonna say you could be on the LBC version, but I didn't want to offend you. But you kind of
say that, Tamasha. Don't say that either. Don't wait. I mean, if you want to date somebody's daughter, it's okay. She said for the check, she'll do it. I think you should do a never ever met. And like I said, I do know one of the producers. I'm happy to put a word in. I'm happy to put a word in. You know, if you got somebody long distance, Mo, for the love of Mo, we're back on Wednesday.
Wednesday, y'all. Crystal gonna update us on what she been talking about to these people.
And you said that you would, if there is a good option, you would take it seriously. I also want to add and let you guys know that Gun Boss I did ask him for help with the swipes. I didn't ask him for help with the conversation, but I did ask him for help with the swipes.
Ain't no telling what you telling these people.
I am talking to them.
Hey, let me ask you something. If somebody hit you with good morning, King, or Grand Rising King, what is your response?
You know what? I haven't got a good morning, a Grand Rising. I have gotten Good Morning King.
Oh, okay. You know,
but a Grand Rising. Oof, because I don't like that.
You got.
I get it.
You ain't say what your reply was to Good Morning King.
I know, because I'll talk about it on Wednesday. I'll tell you on Wednesday. And yes, I did filter for smokers because all the girls that I had picked last time on the first episode did not like smokers. And there Mo is in one of his pictures with the cigar. But you know what's weird, guys? I want to point this out. Maybe the ladies are full of it because those ladies that I swiped on had also swiped on Mo. And one of the pictures on there, he has a cigar. So maybe they're on some BS.
Maybe they meant cigarettes or weed.
Because they definitely were okay with the cigar. We'll see. Hey, Tammy. We got to leave, Tammy. Good evening. Grand opening, grand closing. We'll see you guys on Wednesday for another episode of For the Love of Mo. And we will also talk a little bit about somebody's son. Tamasha, get you a long distance love and we'll put you in for Never Ever Mets. All right? We love y'all for watching. Make sure you like this on your way out. Like it on your way out. And we'll see you guys Wednesday at 8. All right?
See y'all.